Searching for planes and ships which have disappeared in our seas can be extremely difficult, but when people vanish out at sea, it's virtually impossible to find them. The following disappearances are filled with secrets and mysteries, with some of them being cold cases, and the search for them is still ongoing. Next time you decide to head out to sea, be sure to be extra cautious. Let's take a look at 5 mysterious sea disappearances that have never been solved. Number 5. Bas Jan Ader. Bas Jan Ader was a Dutch conceptual artist, performance artist, photographer and filmmaker, born in 1942. On the 9th of July 1975, Ader set off in a cruiser named Ocean Wave to make a single-handed west-east crossing of the North Atlantic. He estimated that the voyage should take him about 2.5 months. However, his boat was found by Spanish fishermen 9 months after he had set sail, and it is unknown how Ader disappeared. It is a source of much speculation. Ader was an accomplished sailor along with his brother Eric. Eric thinks that the fixed point on the boat to which his lifeline was attached was ripped out when he fell overboard in heavy weather. The true nature of Ader's disappearance is still unknown. Number 4. Thomas Joseph Lonergan and Eileen Cassidy. The couple was scuba diving with a group in Australia's Great Barrier Reef when they were mistakenly stranded in the Coral Sea on January the 25th, 1998. The boat that had transported the group to the dive site departed before the couple returned from the water. None of the vessel's crew or passengers noticed that the two had not come back aboard. It was not until 2 days later, on January the 27th, 1998, that the pair were discovered missing after a bag containing their belongings was found on board the dive boat. A massive air and sea search took place over the following 3 days. Although some of their diving gear was found washed up later on a beach miles away from where they were lost, indicating that they were drowned. Their bodies were never found. A fisherman found a diver's slate, a device used for communicating underwater, and wrote down what it read: Monday, January the 26th, 1998, 8 a.m. To anyone who can help us, we've been abandoned on a reef by MV Outer Edge. Please help to rescue us before we die. Help! Of course, people brought conspiracies into the couple's disappearances, with some suggesting that it was staged or even a murder-suicide. However, these were dismissed by a coroner. The skipper of the diving boat who left them behind was not found guilty. However, the company was fined and went out of business. Number 3. Bison Deel. Bison Deel was an American professional basketball player. On July the 6th, 2002, Deel and his girlfriend Serena Carlin, along with skipper Bertrand Soldo, sailed from Tahiti on Deel's catamaran, the Hakuna Matata. However, Deel's brother, Miles Darboard, was the only person who knew they were taking the voyage and was the last person they spoke to on July the 8th, 2002, using a satellite phone. 2 months later, on September the 5th, 2002, police used a sting operation organised by Deel's family and friends to detain Darboard in Phoenix, Arizona. Darboard had forged his brother's signature in order to buy $152,096 worth of gold under his brother's name. He had used Deel's passport as identification. Mexican police later found that Darboard had been staying at a hotel in Tijuana, Mexico. 2 days before, the Hakuna Matata, which had been registered in Tahiti under another name, was found off the coast of Tahiti with its nameplate removed and some possible bullet holes patched. About the same time, Darboard phoned his and Deel's mother, Patricia Phillips, telling her that he would never hurt his brother and that he could not survive in prison. The FBI became involved in the investigation along with the French authorities and concluded that Deel, Carlin and Soldo were probably killed and then thrown overboard or forced to walk off the boat into the ocean by Darboard. Given that the bodies were likely dumped in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it would be highly unlikely that the three would ever be found. Number 2. Amy Bradley. In late March 1998, 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley went missing during a Caribbean cruise on the Royal Caribbean International cruise ship Rhapsody of the Seas. The ship docked in Curacao shortly after she was discovered missing. Investigators found no sign of her, however, believe it unlikely that she had fallen overboard. Soon after the mystery, Amy's disappearance began to widen as possible sightings of Bradley and Curacao started to emerge. Tourists have seen a woman resembling Bradley on a beach, and in 1999, a member of the US Navy claimed a woman in a brothel had said she was Bradley and had asked him for help. He claimed she told him that her name was Amy Bradley and she begged him for help, explaining that she was not allowed to leave. Amy's last potential sighting was in 2005 when a witness named Judy Mora claimed to have seen Bradley in a department store restroom in Barbados. Disturbingly, an email of a young woman resembling Amy's appearance was emailed to her parents, which suggests that she might have been sold into sexual slavery. The Bradley family is offering a reward of $250,000 for information leading to their daughter's return. Her case has been featured on the TV show America's Most Wanted and vanished. Number 1. Rebecca Corium. Rebecca Corium was a British crew member who disappeared from the cruise ship Disney Wonder off the Pacific coast of Mexico on the morning of 22nd of March 2011. Her last whereabouts were in the crew lounge, where a security camera recorded her during a phone conversation which appeared to be causing her some emotional difficulty. A young man can then be seen walking up to her and appears to ask if everything was alright. Her mouth can clearly be seen to say, "Yeah, fine." The crew searched the ship but found no sign of her. A detective from the Royal Bahamas Police Force flew to the ship, where he reportedly undertook several days of onboard investigations. However, when Rebecca's parents arrived on the cruise ship, the detective said he'd told them he'd spent only one day on board investigating before flying back home. What makes the disappearance more bizarre is that Rebecca's parents claimed Disney Wonder kept them in a car with blacked out windows and brought them on board via a little used side entrance after all of the passengers had disembarked. The captain of the ship stated it was possible Rebecca could have been washed overboard by a wave while at the crew pool. However, this has been doubted as the pool is surrounded by high walls. Her parents were taken to Rebecca's room and presented with her belongings before leaving for home. Several months after the disappearance, a journalist by the name of John Ronson took the same cruise ship on the same route whilst making discreet inquiries on board the ship. He stated several crew members suggested that more was known about her fate than Disney Wonder or the police had publicly admitted. However, most of the crew believed that Rebecca had gone overboard as the weather that day was quite choppy. One crew member said Disney Wonder knows exactly what happened. Everything here is taped. There's CCTV everywhere. Disney Wonder has the tape. Strangely, Rebecca's disappearance took an unexpected turn when the day before the first anniversary of her disappearance, her father received an email from a woman who claimed she had seen Rebecca with a dark-haired man on the street in Venice the previous August. The woman said that she was 85% sure it was Rebecca, and seeing the family's website had roused her memory. It was just an email, but it seemed legitimate, said her uncle. It was very upsetting for everyone to think she could be out there somewhere after all this time. He wondered how she could have got there without her passport, which had been amongst the belongings her parents had recovered from her quarters. The disappearance of Rebecca Corium brings up many unanswered questions and still remains a mystery.